A cold wind swept through the deserted parking lot, rustling old leaves across the cracked asphalt. The sun was low, casting long shadows over rows of motorcycles lined like soldiers, their chrome glinting in the fading daylight. Among them, the Hell's Angels were gathered, laughter and the roar of engines mingling in the crisp evening air. A small figure appeared at the edge of the lot. A little girl, no more than 8, clutching a worn teddy bear in one hand, her other hand nervously twisting the hem of her pink jacket. Her wide brown eyes scanned the intimidating bikers, their leather jackets and tattooed arms making them look larger than life. Her steps were hesitant, yet determined, as if some invisible courage was guiding her forward. "Hello, sir," she called, her voice barely above a whisper but carrying a strange confidence. "My mother has a tattoo just like yours." The biker she addressed, a man in his mid-40s, salt and pepper hair, arms covered in ink telling stories of a life most would never dare, paused mid-laugh. His eyes, sharp and wary at first, softened as they met hers. A nervous chuckle escaped him, a sound unfamiliar in the rough atmosphere surrounding him. The girl's words hung in the air. A crowd of bikers leaned in, curious, suspicious, even amused. The little girl stepped closer, her teddy bear now dangling from her hand, forgotten for the moment. "She says it's a symbol of courage," she continued, her voice gaining strength. "And she wanted me to meet someone like you." Tom seemed to slow. The wind quieted, the motorcycles humming in the background, as if even the engines were listening. He knelt slightly, trying to make himself smaller, to meet her on her level. "Your mother, she has a tattoo like mine?" His voice was gruff but tinged with curiosity. "Yes," she said, her eyes shining. "She told me stories about the people behind the tattoos. She said they're brave, loyal, and kind." The man's hand twitched toward the tattoo on his forearm, a dragon curling around a dagger. Memories flooded him. His mother's own hands, calloused but gentle, tracing over the same design on his father's old journal. He hadn't thought about her in years. The world of engines and leather had swallowed that memory, but it was alive again in this tiny voice. At this moment, if you believe in courage, resilience, and hope, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Valley. Stories like this remind us that even the smallest acts can change hearts forever. The girl tilted her head, her innocence cutting through the roughness surrounding them. "Do you know what it means to be brave?" she asked. Her voice carried a quiet wisdom beyond her years. "It's not about fighting. It's about protecting, caring, and doing what's right even when it's hard." He felt a lump form in his throat. Memories of his younger days came rushing back. The fights, the escapes, the nights spent thinking he was untouchable. Yet he had never been truly brave in the way she described. Not like this. The little girl smiled, sensing the hesitation. "My mom says bravery isn't just for the big, scary people. Even small people can make a difference." She reached into her pocket and pulled out a crumpled photograph. It was her mother, smiling proudly, the tattoo visible on her arm. The sight of it, so familiar yet distant, struck a chord deep within him. "You knew her?" he asked, his voice catching, eyes narrowing slightly in disbelief. "Not very well," she admitted, her shoulders sagging for a moment. "She left when I was small, but she told me about you, about how her tattoo, and yours, meant something special, something that lasts, even when people leave." The biker's face softened completely. He looked around at the others, men who lived by rules of loyalty and strength, yet now witnesses to a small girl's courage that outshone them all. One by one, the tension broke. Some nodded, others muttered quietly, recognizing a moment that was rare, almost sacred. Flashbacks of his own mother surfaced. She had loved fiercely, quietly, always pushing him toward better choices even when life threatened to drag him down. He remembered her words. "Kindness is a strength no tattoo can show, but every action proves it." He hadn't realized how much he needed that reminder until now. The girl tilted her head again, studying him carefully. "Do you think you could be brave like her? Like my mom?" He swallowed hard, emotion rising like a tide. He reached down and gently took the girl's hand. I think I can try," he said, "and maybe I can show you what bravery really looks like." The sun dipped lower, bathing the scene in golden light. She hugged him, small arms barely reaching around his torso. And in that moment, the hardened biker felt something he hadn't in years. Hope, pure and untainted. The other bikers began to smile, some quietly wiping eyes they didn't expect to tear up. The world of leather, engines, and tattoos suddenly felt warmer, softer, human. Have you ever met someone who changed the way you saw the world in a single moment? Someone who reminded you that courage isn't loud, but quiet, steady, and kind? If this story touches your heart, share it, comment below, and subscribe to Kindness Valley so that these moments of humanity reach even more people. The little girl stepped back, her hand slipping into her mother's photograph again. She said to tell you, it's never too late to be brave and kind. He nodded, looking down at her, feeling the weight of years lift slightly off his shoulders. Then I'll start today. For you, for her, and maybe for me too. As they walked back toward the edge of the lot, the motorcycles shimmered in the sunset, reflecting colors of hope and second chances. The roar of engines returned, but now it sounded different, like life moving forward, stronger and gentler at the same time. The little girl waved, her eyes sparkling with trust and newfound belief in the power of kindness. And the biker, once feared, once lost in his own world, smiled genuinely, realizing that courage and compassion could coexist in even the roughest hearts. In the end, it wasn't the tattoos or the motorcycles that defined bravery. It was the choice to be human, to be kind, to embrace second chances. And for those watching this story unfold, remember, every act of courage, no matter how small, leaves a mark. Will you choose to leave your mark today? Like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Valley to witness more stories where humanity triumphs and hearts are changed forever. The little girl skipped away, her laughter blending with the evening breeze. The biker watched her go, a tear slipping unnoticed, a smile breaking through the lines of a life once hardened. Some moments, he realized, are bigger than fear, stronger than anger, and brighter than any tattoo could ever show. The sun finally disappeared beyond the horizon, leaving a sky streaked with hope, reminding us all that kindness and courage are never out of reach.